In this video, I'm going to be learning how to make steak and kidney suet pudding. This recipe has been highly requested in the comments, so I thought I'd give it a go. And I will be using this cookbook, Delia Smith's Complete Cookery Course. It says it is a new edition for the 1990s. So this was published in Britain and it is very British. I have been using a modern version of Mary Berry's cookbook, but I didn't realize when I bought it, it was the American version of it. So the recipes have been really easy to make, but they are not exactly accurate to the British version. So I want to give it a go with a very British cookbook. When we're talking about steak and kidney suet pudding, the star of the show has got to be the kidney. This was only $1.99 a pound, so very, very affordable. But I'm gonna have to figure out how to trim it. Let's dig right on in. Oh, okay. It's got a slightly metallic kind of ammonia-esque twang. What I'm going to do is start by soaking this kidney. So I just have some various scraps of citrus here that I'm going to juice all of them and put them in a bowl. With the citrus, I'm adding some salt and some white vinegar. I'm using white wine vinegar because I'm out of regular white vinegar. Then I'm just going to add some water into this. It said if there's a membrane, you need to pull it off, and it looks like there might be right here. Yeah, there's definitely a membrane. Yeah, it looks like there are some like brown looking spots. So this isn't the freshest, the best and the brightest when it comes to beef kidney. Maybe next time I'll have to splash out, spend more money on the good kidneys, make a special trip to the expensive butcher. It smells a little bit like liver that's been in the men's room of a bar. All right, I'm just trying to get this big chunk of cartilage out here in the center. Oh, I just sort of, as I pull the center thing out, the smell gets stronger. That smell of liver and urinals. I'm here to learn, I'm keeping an open mind about it. While the kidneys are soaking and hopefully the flavor is mellowing out a little bit, I'm gonna make the suet crust pastry. It says to start with 12 ounces of self-raising flour. So I made a little bit of an effort to buy the best quality self-rising flour that I could find here in the States. King Arthur is a good brand. And this one says that it has softer wheat in it, so it should make a good tender pastry crust and be a good quality. My sifter is a little bit small for all this flour. I should have done it in batches, but she showed in her little video about it, tilting the sifter and sort of tapping it like this to get a nice aeration with the flour. Okay, so now she says to take 6 ounces of suet and mix it evenly in. In her video, she used a knife to cut it. I really like this stand mixer because it has these beater blades that basically work like knives to cut things in. So I actually really like this for blending pastry, as opposed to like the KitchenAid beater thing would knead it more or like make more gluten. This one's going to cut through the gluten better. Let's talk about pudding bowls. I ordered one online. I thought, this is a gorgeous pudding bowl. I think it is Port Marion, I don't know how to pronounce it. Gorgeous pudding bowl, but it is smaller than I thought it was going to be. And it's not big enough for this recipe, so I had to scramble a little bit, and I found this little stainless steel bowl that I'm going to use as the pudding bowl. Okay, so it's just started to come together, so I'm going to just mix it the last little bit with my hands. All right, give it a few quick kneads. I don't want to go too crazy with the kneading. But she said this is really forgiving, and it certainly seems that way. It seems very easy to work with. A little generous with the flour here. And I need about a quart of it set to the side for the lid. So we're going about 1/2 inch thick with this. So what I want to do is put it into the pudding bowl, trying to get an even thickness all the way through. Let me go ahead and roll out the lid while we've got the pastry mess going. It's time to make the filling. Exciting. I have the beef kidneys still soaking. I'll drain them and dry them right at the end. I went ahead and chopped or sliced a medium yellow onion And now I need to cut some braising beef into 1-inch cubes, it says. And I just got some chuck steak. It's got nice fat marbling, so it should braise really well, or like steam in this pudding over this 5 hours and get a really nice soft beef. These kidneys have been soaking for about 30 minutes now. I'm going to drain them and pat them dry. The ammonia smell has mellowed out a lot. They still smell like liver. Let's just chop up these kidney pieces into about 1-inch chunks. This bowl is getting kind of fragrant with the kidneys and the onions. Now it says to add 2 tablespoons of well-seasoned flour. I didn't season the flour directly. I'm just going to add in some freshly ground black pepper and a good amount of salt. Let's just get this all combined and coated. I might have more filling than I need for this thing. Surely not. I followed the instructions. I have way too much filling. Way too much filling. All right, well, I've got a lot. I could have done 2 of these actually, so maybe I do want to make that pork Mary on bowl. Now I need to fill it with water until it just covers the meat. Brush the edges of this with liquid, with water. The crust is going on the top, and what I want to do is take the sides of the crust and really smash it into the top. All right, there we go. So I have the pudding all sealed in there. I have a piece of foil that I just took well buttered with a pleat at the top. Apparently this might expand. I'm going to put this over this thing. I need to make a little string around it. All right, and into that piece of string, I'm supposed to make a little handle that I can lift it up with. That should be enough to help lift it out of the steamer. And for the steamer, I am just going to be using a big stock pot, and I have a little steamer basket that goes in the bottom of it. So there's about 4 cups of water in the bottom of this. Enough to where it's almost touching the steamer basket, but not quite. So I'm going to put the pudding in, check it periodically, make sure it doesn't go completely dry, and I guess put it on the stovetop and keep it on lowish heat for 5 hours. So what I want to do right now is make my side dish. I'm going to be making some American turnip greens to go on the side here. And I'll just touch on this recipe real quick. I'm not going to go too in-depth into it because it's not the point of the video. But I thought maybe doing like a traditional American side with it would be a little bit of an interesting contrast, because there is no traditional American dish to directly compare to this pudding. We got nothing like this. So I'm going to take this baking grease once it gets nice and hot. I have 1 medium onion diced up. Then I have a turnip chopped up as well. And I have a couple of garlic cloves. I'm going to saute those really well in the baking grease. I also have some pork scraps left over from a piece of pork I cut up a while back. It was in my freezer. So I'm just going to get all of those nice and sizzling and seasoned. I make sure to put the garlic in at the very end because it can burn. Then I'm going to add in a bunch of my greens and mix them in, get them really coated with everything. Add in a couple of tablespoons of vinegar. Then you want to add in 3 cups of stock. So then I just seasoned it with salt, black pepper, and a few red pepper flakes to add some heat to it. And this goes on the stove to simmer for about an hour, hour and a half. So let's make this second suet crust pastry real quick, so we can make the second steak and kidney suet pudding. In the episode of Delia's something whatever, where she demonstrates this this recipe, she called it. She said that it's sometimes called Kate and Sydney pudding, Kate and Sydney steak and kidney, and I've had that stuck in my head ever since. I keep calling it a Kate and Sydney. Put this remaining filling in there, and then just and I've already seasoned this filling before when I did the first time. So now I'm just pouring water to fill it up just to the level of the meat. Now I'll put the top on. So the steak and kidney pudding is steaming away on the stovetop still. There's about an hour and a half left on there. And the Kate and Sydney pudding, which is identical to the steak and kidney, except I'm going to be trying it in a pressure cooker using Delia Smith's method. So let's just put a lid on this real tight because it's going on the pressure cooker. I'm going to do a layer of foil that's been well buttered on the side that will be touching the pudding, as per Delia Smith, with the pleat in the top because it's going to expand. Then I have another second layer of foil over top of this because in the pressure cooker, if any liquid gets in here at all with that pressure, it's just going to turn to mush. That's what it says. So I've got to be extra, extra, extra careful that this stays dry. Get a really nice tight seal around here with the string. Like not playing around, put a little heft into it. And this one, I am not going to do the little handle because the trivet has handles. So let's see exactly what Delia has to say. A pressure cooker is ideal for steaming puddings as it cuts the steaming time considerably. That's what I'm hoping for. The preparation of the pudding is the same as for ordinary steaming. So I made this steak and kidney pudding exactly like I did for the one that I steamed on the stove. I have the trivet in there. Add 1.5 pints or 850 milliliters of water and bring it to the simmering point. So her directions are technically for like a stovetop pressure cooker. There weren't instant pots in the early 90s when this was written. But this does have a saute function that will bring water up to a boil, but for simplicity's sake, I just heated the water in the kettle, and I'm gonna go with 850 milliliters because a British pint is different than an American pint, and I don't wanna worry about figuring it out. Pour that in there. So there's a good amount of water in the bottom, but not too much. It says put the pudding in onto the trivet, close the lid, but it says to leave it venting for the first 15 minutes. So I'm putting it on low pressure and I'm going to set it to 1.5 hours. This pudding was originally meant to steam for 5 hours on the stovetop. For the steaming times, Delia says, give the pudding 35 minutes if the ordinary steaming time was 1.5 hours, or 1 hour if the ordinary steaming time was 2 to 3 hours. So for a 5-hour steaming time, I'm going to give it 1.5 hours. And that is going to correspond pretty well with the one from the stovetop, which has 1 hour and 28 minutes left. So with 850 milliliters of simmering water in here, the trivet, the well-sealed pudding, the lid closed, the steam vent open for the first 15 minutes. The pressure level is on low. After 15 minutes, I'm going to seal it and then let it finish off let it go on its merry way, and we'll pull them out both at the same time. The collard greens, the turnip greens are done, but they can hang out there. I'll warm them up slightly before we go. But what I want to do now is make some Bisto. I know it's got time, but I want to make it now. I've never tried Bisto before, so I want to go ahead and make some, give it a taste test, and I can warm it back up with dinner if I need it. So let's see what Bisto has to say. I know it's boiling water. Put 4 heaped teaspoons of Bisto granules into a measuring jug. For extra thick gravy, add more granules at this point. Again, it tells you to use 1/2 pint of boiling water, but I don't know if they mean British pints. They must, which is definitely different. So why does it look like rat poison? Y'all, this gravy mix looks like rat poison. Okay, the steam's just gonna be hissing away over there. So let's do 4 teaspoons. 4 teaspoons of the Bisto, and this is all of the gravy that it makes? All the 4 teaspoons, and it's a thin gravy. Are you kidding me? Ah, Bisto. Why do I feel like you're a ripoff? Tastes like watery. Tastes like almost nothing. I need to make it thicker. Okay. Texture is looking a lot more like what I want from a gravy. God, you're loud. Why are you so loud? Let's do another taste. Okay. It's a nice gravy, actually. Surprisingly tasty. I have had some instant gravy mixes here from the States. They usually come in little tiny packets. For the amount of effort it took, though, it is a surprisingly decent gravy. So maybe the stuff in it, the concentration levels are better. In the States, we expect things to be ultra concentrated, and it ends up making a worse product in the end, possibly. I don't know. All right, we are here at the 5-hour mark. Finally, the pudding is done on the steamer. Woo, doggies. Let's get this thing out of here. Hey, this handle works great. It really puffed up on the top, didn't it? I definitely I definitely see why she said to put a pleat in the top, because look how much it rounded up. Okay, let's try to get this, let's get this lid off of here. Just snip it. Let's see what this thing looks like. Okay, it's coming off easily. That's good. It didn't stick. All right. There you go. Bob's your uncle. So maybe I just want to just let this set for a few minutes to cool down so it'll hold structure a little bit better when I unplate it. Well, let's go to the pressure cooker one. Pressure cooker. I let this do a natural release. I didn't do a quick release, so that this pudding didn't collapse from the pressure change. See, those things are hot. Okay, this one, it doesn't look like it puffed up on top as much. I'm a little bit worried because the liquid in here, you see that liquid? It was just straight water when I put it in there, and now it looks like it's got some juice. It's like got some of the kidney pudding steamed into it. Yeah, the water from the steamer had a little bit of color to it, but not nearly as much as from the pressure cooker. So I don't know what that means. Let's get this off. Oh, maybe because I didn't pleat this top one. I pleated the bottom one, I didn't pleat the top one, so that didn't give it space to expand. I wonder if that was a mess up, because it didn't really undo the pleat at all, which makes sense. Okay. This is the Kate and Sydney pudding. There you go. Steak and kidney, Kate and Sydney. The pressure cooker one looks a little bit darker, so let's try to turn this one out. This is the steak and kidney steamed on the stove top. And I'm just using a plain old stoneware plate for it. Can I get this to come up? Hello. Oh, here we go. Woo! Yes. It's gorgeous. Look at that shape. What a funny shape. It looks a lot bigger than I was expecting it to. What a funny shape. That's cool. This pastry smells good. It smells delicious. Okay, awesome. I've got high hopes for this other one now. Wow. Okay, just make sure I've pulled it away from the sides with the knife. Okay. Let's do the flipper. Woo, it's hot. This crockery held the heat better than that stainless steel did, so let's do I gotta have a cloth to flip it. Okay, can we get it off? Oh, it came right out. The shape is probably better. There's a reason pudding bowls are shaped the way they are, I bet. So that came right out. All right, cool. They both seem to have worked. I'm so flippin' hungry. This is the latest I will have ever eaten for a taste test after that dang 5-hour steaming. All right, let's move to the table. Dinner time. Wow, 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 wow. Smells great. They look crazy good. So we're going to start by just cutting into this one, the steak and kidney from the stovetop steamer. Don't know how to cut into this. I guess you just cut into it. Don't want it running everywhere. Oh, it's got a really strong smell of like liver coming out of it, so I can definitely smell those kidneys, but still very savory. It's not as messy as I was expecting. It didn't just pour out everywhere. So that flour that the meat was mixed with really did help hold everything together. So we cut open the steak and kidney stovetop steamer. Let's cut open the Kate and Sydney Instant Pot pressure cooker steamer. And I'm glad it didn't crumble. Oh, there's a lot more liquid coming out of this one. It was the exact same filling, but this one is juicier in the end here. Right, there we go. There we go. Steak and kidney versus Kate and Sydney. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some greens. Not part of the official taste test because I know what they taste like. Part of my official dinner because this is my meal for the day. Like my meal for the day. And I already know I'm gonna demolish these greens. I could probably finish off a whole pot of turnip greens on my own. So y'all will have to let me know what you have in the UK that is the closest equivalent of a turnip green. Would it be nettles or... I think I found something called spring greens, which would be like a boiled cabbage, maybe. I don't know, but let's get into the taste test. I am floored. There's nothing I've ever had that's anywhere similar to this. The crust held up really well. It wasn't difficult to make. All it took was time, and if the Instant Pot one comes out being tasty, it didn't even take that much time. So let's start with the traditional stovetop steaming method. I think I have a bite with a little bit of everything in it. I don't know how to feel about this. It smells like liver. I like liver, but it definitely has that strong liver smell. It doesn't have an ammonia smell, which is good. Cheers. Okay, trying to be open-minded here. Whoa, because I got a lot of food here. I'm really hungry. I was excited to eat this. It's not the worst thing I've ever had, but I don't know that I love this kidney's taste. It's very, very soft, very, very savory. The onions, the steak, the gravy, very tasty. It's that kidney that I don't know what I feel about. Let's give it another test. Try to give it a good chance. Not loving it. Let me try a piece of the pastry by itself. I really like this pastry. It's nice and sturdy. It kept the whole pie encapsulated, but it's not like dense and like a solid brick of pastry. It is light and fluffy to eat, but it holds shape. It was structurally sound and it's held everything encased and got a nice steam going. So this style of pudding I would do again, maybe not with the kidney. Let's give the pressure cooker one a taste to see if there's any difference. So that was the steak and kidney. This is the Kate and Sydney pressure cooker. Get a nice bit of the pastry to go with it. Okay, here's a bite of the Kate and Sydney, which is the steak and kidney suet pudding cooked in a pressure cooker. Okay, that was actually really good. I probably didn't get any of the kidney. I probably just got the steak. So let's try another bite. Did I get the kidney? That was definitely kidney. Definitely kidney, but the flavor was a lot more mellow. The Kate and Sydney, I might give it to the Kate and Sydney. It's under the pressure, the flavors melded together better in the pressure cooker than they did on the stovetop steamer. Am I insane? Tell me I'm not insane. So for the stovetop steamer, that kidney taste was very prominent. The pressure cooker one, it doesn't seem as prominent. The pressure cooker is just melded together better. Now that could be the pressure cooker. Also, the filling, I had tossed it all with the flour, salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, onions, steak. I tossed them all together and they sat for a couple hours, 3 hours actually, before I filled the Kate and Sydney one with it. So I wonder if tossing them together ahead of time helped marry the flavors too. For my money, I'm happy with the one from the pressure cooker. I think it married the flavors together better. How, why, I don't know. Don't know. There are a couple of variables that I didn't completely isolate. I'm not doing like a scientific test, so I don't know why I like this one better, but I do. So the steak and kidney suet pudding, definitely love the pastry. The filling, I like it when it's cooked. And I saw a lot of modern recipes cook it on the stovetop and then steam it. And I wonder if that wouldn't help marry the flavors together better too. But listen, in the future, if I can stick my pudding in the pressure cooker, I'm absolutely going to do that. So the one from the pressure cooker is what I'm going to grade because it's the one I really like. I'm going to give it a, I love the pastry. Oh, I didn't try the Bisto over it. Okay, I love the pastry. I like the idea of the filling. The flavors all melded together much better. It's definitely tasty. I would do different filling. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not bad. It's an idea I would like to play with more in the future. But let's give it a go with some Bisto on top. All right, smother it in gravy. That's got to help, right? The Bisto helps. It's very, very tasty. The Bisto over this suet crust pastry, that's a winning combination. Altogether, it is a very, very interesting dish. Like nothing I've ever had in my life. I'm gonna eat some greens just because I love them so much. These turnip greens go really well with like hearty, savory things. It's a little bit of a brighter, sharper flavor. There's just a hint of heat. I didn't season them too heavy. So this has been a very interesting taste test. I did not know what to expect. And it really boggles my mind how one I find palatable, one not so much. But that is all that I have for today. If you've liked this video, please subscribe. That helps more than you can know. If you have the memory card in my camera literally filled up right as I was filming the outro. So that is all that I have for today. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps more than you can know. If you have not already and you would like to, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the future. And let's take a look at Pearl. There she is, taking a nap, watching me eat and chatter to myself. I don't know what she thinks I'm doing, but she really likes to lay there and watch me eat when I do these taste tests. Tell everyone goodbye, Pearl. Lazy.